Hey everybody, it's your boy Chris, and welcome back to the Off Air Podcast. With me always is John.
I really wish it was just not you.
What?
Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't know we were recording.
Is there something we need to talk about?
Anyways, welcome back, guys. This is, I believe, our 6th episode.
Yeah.
As always, we don't have any more topics. Well, I have topics. Do you?
I have a few things I'd like to talk about.
I figured out my Wednesdays for my week. That's when I pull up internet and then I just search for topics.
Nice. So how we doing?
I'm pretty good.
Are we gonna start with weather first? We had a storm yesterday. I don't know.
I don't think we talk about weather enough on this podcast.
All right.
Let me throw this out.
Sure.
There is a Ebola outbreak in the Congo again.
What?
In the Congo, Africa.
Yeah.
There's another Ebola. Another one.
Oh God.
Yeah. Another one.
Not cool. Damn, that's nuts.
And of course, as you guys know, it's now May.
Yep.
So, in weather, that means fuck all. Tornadoes are going to be very high.
We're slowly entering that season of cyclones and.
Well, that also rolls into my actual other topic. NOAA, National Oceanic Atmosphere Science, whatever they stand for.
Yeah.
Basically, the people, like the official government people for weather,
are
already tracking a potential storm in the Atlantic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's a 40% chance.
Okay.
It's already in the Caribbean. It's nothing.
Right. Okay.
But
India, yeah. Getting hit with a Category 5.
Yeah, they just got hit with a Category 5 typhoon.
India's having a tough time right now.
And then Africa just finished recovering. Not really.
Not really.
They're still recovering.
Well, yeah, recovery is a long process, especially if you have any issues with your economy and whatever nation it's in.
I mean,
it's a whole process.
The U.S. is still technically recovering.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's been 2 years.
Yeah. There are still people recovering in Puerto Rico from Irma. Yeah.
That one island still doesn't exist.
I'm sorry?
Oh, yeah, you didn't know? After Irma, there's an island that was reduced basically to like 1% structures left.
What?
And then Hurricane Maria, the one that came after, just finished it off.
Oh, God. That's nuts.
And then that's when it hit Puerto Rico again.
This is in the Caribbean?
Yeah.
There's like a small island that's not there anymore. It's just totally underwater.
Well, no. The actual land is still there. There's no structures anymore.
Oh, it just totally wiped out.
Yeah. It's devastated.
Oh, shit.
Speaking about Caribbeans, yesterday I was reading an article about St. Lucia. Which is like somewhat near Venezuela, but it's still in the Caribbean.
Okay.
Never heard of the place. It looks beautiful from all the photos I've seen.
Is that like one of the Virgins?
No, it's
no.
It's way too south.
Oh, then that sounds true. If it's close to Venezuela, yeah, that's pretty far. That's really far.
It's really fucking far from the Virgins.
Yeah.
St. Lucia, it's a very beautiful place. I really want to visit since I've seen it.
Yeah.
And vaccines, we need to use them.
We're still having that like whole issue. Is it mostly just California? No. That's what it seems like people are talking about.
No.
It's everywhere.
We have measles it's in Washington, New York.
Yeah, it's been like several outbreaks. Jersey. Oh, shit.
Slowly it's probably spreading down to Florida. If it does, I'm fucking yelling at a doctor saying, re-inject me with every vaccine on the planet.
I think you're fine.
Just make sure.
That's crazy, though.
The reason I brought St. Lucia up again is because there's a cruise ship the famous ship for Scientology is under quarantine because they brought measles to that island.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
CDC's fucking furious.
I see.
Whoever is the director of the CDC is fucking losing their shit. over this fucking year.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's ridiculous. I you know, just last year or so, like,
It's like,
this whole thing was. I mean, people were still joking about it, but like, it seemed like it was a joke. Like, it wasn't really like a big movement. But it seems like there's quite a lot of parents out there that aren't vaccinating their kids, and so these outbreaks are just exploding all over the place.
It's just insane because last
like
year
there are children dying. It's fucking
the cases for measles last year was
absurd.
Here's the insane part.
Ludicrous.
Early 2000s, CDC announced the measles was fully eradicated.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what does that mean when you stop taking your vaccines? The virus is still alive. No one's being affected by it. The vaccines work.
Of course.
Doesn't mean the virus is gone fully.
Yeah, no, it's not like you can just kill that thing forever.
No.
It's not extinct.
It's evolving.
Yeah.
But the body also evolves with the same genetic vaccine.
Yeah.
So when you pass it down to your kids, yes, they have a part of it, but they're not fully effective.
Yeah, no, they still need it because that pathogen is still growing. It still exists. So we need to take action in order to make sure we're safe from it.
As of now,
our kids.
I've read the reports are now to 700 cases.
Holy shit.
And it's still rapidly growing. Now I believe Europe is also going under as well.
This is a record. These are record numbers. We're in
an era of stupidity again.
I believe there's always been stupid people.
No. But now they just have a bigger voice.
Yeah, that's what it is. Is that with the internet and with how media has evolved? Everyone has a voice now. If you try, hey, look at us.
Don't worry about it. I'm still banned off of Twitter. All because I just changed my age.
Yeah.
Oh no, but I can post photos of nudity. Oh, but the moment I change my actual age, how fucking dare you? You're going to prison. What?
Yeah. I don't know how that works with their policy because I don't know.
I get it.
I feel like you have a rare case because a lot of people are using Twitter and they didn't start using it when they were. There is okay.
I had a Twitter,
before say 2010, there weren't kids on social media.
No.
You know, I mean, to be fair, social media was fairly new by that time anyway. Smartphones just came out 2007, 2008. So, you know.
MySpace was still up there before Facebook took over the...
Yeah, let alone Instagram and Twitter. But, like...
Instagram didn't come out around until 2015?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Instagram has only been around for about 4 years.
Jesus,
yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like social media platforms right now are like they need to take a lot more precautions because it all goes back to parents, doesn't it? Because like there's young kids shouldn't be on social media. Let's be real. Like even especially middle school kids because like middle school kids with bullying, you know, they're sensitive. They're ruining their lives.
They ruined their lives and someone else's.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, once it's on the internet, it technically never goes away.
Yeah.
I have a younger sister, like you know.
Yeah.
Ever since she was a kid, she had a tablet.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a tablet. Well, I had one, didn't use it.
Yeah.
I have a computer. I built a computer.
Yeah.
Yes, I use the internet a lot, but here's the thing. She's still young. I'm older. I use it for research. I use it for work. I use it for entertainment.
Right.
She's still a kid. And, I don't know if it's like technology envy or something. But it's just, when I look at her, I'm like, she shouldn't be on there.
Yeah. Of course.
Of course, I'm being a little bit hypocritical where I spend large amount of my hours on the computer.
I mean, if it's controlled, which it can be, you know, there are kids' tablets now that you can place restrictions on, so that way your kids are only playing games on there. To where it's the same thing as like when we were kids and we would play, you know, N64 games and stuff like that, where it's just a gaming system at that point. Which in that case, I mean, just give your kid a Switch. That's what I would do. Like looking at how bad it is now, like it's gonna be a while before I have kids, but like this isn't gonna stop. You know, social media isn't gonna go away, and it's not gonna become any more safe. In fact, there's more and more people on there every day. You know,
I mean, if we look at the last 100 years, we have come from a long line of technology.
Oh, the technology is only increasing in its pace. It's only getting faster and faster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that NASA has a couple quantum computers. So does Google now.
Yeah, it's at an exponential rate how technology is improving. So, yeah, like devices are only going to become more integrated into our lives. You know, social media isn't going to go away. My kids aren't going to be using social media until they're in high school, hopefully, if I can control it.
Wow, you're being optimistic about having kids.
We have time.
I don't.
What?
What I was going to say was quantum computers. We heard that years ago when we were younger. Back in high school.
Yeah.
Oh, quantum computers. There's like decades away. We're nowhere near that.
No, we have them now, like not even 4 years later.
No, yeah. And then I showed you the other day a SIM card. The micro SIM cards.
Yeah.
They're now at terabytes.
Yep. It's huge. It's crazy.
Meanwhile, a whole
years ago they were gigabytes, and that was like
and then years
huge news.
That, a megabyte took up an entire warehouse.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because I mean, like everyone uses the same example. The exact same technology that we used to get to the moon is now in your pocket.
Yeah, everything is getting more and more convenient. Everything's getting powerful and smaller and more integrated in every way. You know, we have phones, we have watches. Soon enough, Google Glass or something like that's going to come back, and we're going to have smart glasses or something. You know, Niantic is pushing that.
Yeah, that was something they always pushed. I believe also.
I think it can work really well for gaming. I don't know how it'll. I don't know. I feel
it's ARG.
It's a really weird thing to look at. Thinking about using augmented reality. It's something we've always seen like in movies and video games, but never thought about how it would actually work in reality. Can you imagine having your smartphone in front of your face like all the time? At least slightly, like having almost like you're in an actual video game, and you just have like a watermark in the corner of your field of view all the time.
Basically, like WALL-E.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just a screen in front of your face.
Yeah.
Or
you can take it off at any time. It's just on your face. But it's always in your field of view.
Or like
that would be such an issue for driving.
Oh no.
However, at the same time though, you know that car companies are going to be making it to where
you don't need a drive. How? I'm sorry.
Well, driving is going to become less popular, as well as, but also cars are.
Your kids are going to be the rare kids saying, "Wait, you have a license? What's that?"
What makes you say that?
Like in the future, most cars, like we see now, they're starting to pick up automation, like Tesla.
Oh, you're saying that people are going to be self-driven, or yes. they're going to be in self-driving cars.
Yes, because technically it's safer. Insurance probably is going to go down.
Oh, for sure. I can definitely see that, especially with Elon removed the patent on Tesla on the batteries. So essentially, he wants other companies like GM and Dodge and Japanese companies to be making basically their own clones of Tesla. Electric cars. That way, there's more competition in the industry, and that way, he's not the only one paying for charging stations.
Right, because I've seen some charging stations.
In
Tampa, I only know 2 locations.
I bet that in the next decade, we're going to see companies emerging that specialize in that. Just like how there's gas station companies, there's going to be charging station companies that specialize in putting charging stations in garages and in parking lots. And there's going to be charging stations replacing gas stations probably in the next few decades.
And then someone's going to invent basically how Formula 1 cars and NASCARs, they refuel. It's basically a pressurized system that injects the fuel into the tank.
Yeah.
And then you're just gone already.
Yep.
They're probably going to invent where it's just The battery transfer is just immediate surge, and that's it. You're gone.
Yeah.
You don't really need to stop at a gas station for.
Do you think we're gonna? I guess I'm sure it'll happen eventually. Like, when do you think we would see competitive electric vehicles for like NASCAR and Formula One and?
We're technically starting. If I heard, we're slowly transitioning over to more economic vehicles for NASCAR.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure those engines are huge, and they're running all the time.
They're running all the time. They're basically a NASCAR or IndyCar.
Mm-hmm.
They're not meant for regular roads.
No, of course not. Are you kidding me?
That reminds me of.
You're talking about like those things are.
It's
for how they're used and how they're built. That's beyond a sports car. That's beyond a street legal sports car.
Efficient like a jet engine.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
Jet engines are still not. Yes, we learn more a better technique to burn fuel for jet engines, but they're still not at the specs of. Or hey, if we're running at this weight, can we burn at this fuel rate? No.
Yeah.
Meaning we are gonna have to burn more fuel.
Mm-hmm. That's what's funny is that because of those conditions that they have to work within for their competitions, street legal muscle cars and sports cars are better in several ways in comparison to competitive. Well, at least for NASCAR cars, like especially hypercars and supercars. You know, not only can they perform, but they have their efficiencies because there's so many regulations nowadays in cars.
Oh yeah, it's just insane how much, especially with California. Back when I used to work in.
Oh, dude, California. Living in California is a whole different beast when it comes to regulations on your car.
I know.
You need to replace parts consistently.
I know.
Yeah.
Because when I worked at my old store, my old job.
Mm-hmm.
Every thing in the catalog is like, all right, you can use this except California.
Yeah.
I asked the person, where's your vehicle from? I'm like, I bought it here. Why? I'm like, I'm sorry, because half of like my parts here are saying, hey, you can use this in California, but nowhere else.
Yeah, or vice versa, I'm sure. There are some things that you can't use in California.
Yeah, there's an entire conversion kit I had to sell.
Yeah.
To a person where it turns out, yeah, they bought the vehicle back in California.
Mm.
There's a part that never existed on that vehicle because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, if you're going to be running this, you're going to have to convert this and this.
Yeah, it's extremely strict about their emissions there because it's the most populated state. And everyone drives there, just like how it is here in Florida. You know, public transportation isn't common in any of the major cities in California. No one's there's no subways or what is it
trams.
Yeah, there's no monotrams or anything in
the closest place that has like public transportation is the rail cars up in San Francisco.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah, and some of they've been updated. Some of them have been running for decades. Those roads have been there for decades.
I know,
but
I've driven them.
Yeah.
I've driven on the main highway that goes through the mountains to my uncle's house.
Yeah.
The main highway, that's technically the newest one, but when there's traffic, he took me on the old original interstate.
Oh, really?
Which still exists.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool.
Holy shit! Yes, it's like 30 minutes longer.
Yeah.
But it's the most beautiful place you can drive.
Really?
Because you're right there up on the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the actual lakes between the valley.
Yeah.
And of course, you can see how detailed the actual mountain is.
Yeah.
It's just not the one that is like, hey, mountain exists. No, it's the one that's like, hey, we got pushed up.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. That's amazing. But yeah, man, like there's definitely gonna be some big changes soon, you know.
I mean, yeah.
That's funny. I didn't think about that with like. I mean, I'm sure in some places people are still gonna drive, especially in places where people drive so much, like in Florida and California. Yeah. But like up north, you know, New York and New England areas, big cities that have public transportation, people aren't gonna be driving in New York anymore.
Well,
except for people, I mean,
yeah.
except for people that do it for a living.
Yeah.
that probably I can see, just like how New Jersey has stuff like that where they have to keep people working to keep jobs, that they restrict automations.
Oh.
So like if you go to a gas station in New Jersey, someone's there to pump your gas for you. You can't even get out of the car.
Yeah.
You give them the money and they do it for you.
I think I remember.
It's weird. It's the weirdest thing, and people that are assholes too. So you don't like to do it, but that's your only option if you're in that area.
Reminds me about up in Washington, hearing about the people saying when they took off, like, hey, we're no longer paying for people to pump your gas. You're gonna pump it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for some people they've been doing that their whole life. They've been just having people pump gas for them. Like, what? I need to get out of the car now. What the fuck is this?
So like, I don't know how this works.
Fucking what's with this lever thing and the pump, and where do I put my money in this thing? They start slapping the box. Like fucking I don't mean to make fun of people from New Jersey because they get defensive, but yeah, but I can definitely see that happening in New York soon enough with preserving jobs for people that drive taxis and Ubers.
Right.
Because soon enough people are going to be no one in those cities is going to be buying a car anymore. If they do, they don't live in the city, or they're leaving the city. Right. Same thing in big cities like Boston. Chicago, places where public transportation is well instilled there, and it's so common that people don't rely on driving themselves anywhere.
I mean, speaking about again with automation, back in California, same place with Elon Musk, he has this company called the Boring Company, where he's making basically highway tunnels under the state.
Yeah. Where
you can get from, I believe, downtown LA to Santa Monica Beach down within 30 minutes.
Dude, when are we gonna get bullet trains? Because there's been talk for that.
Hyper trains.
And then hyper trains.
Are we talking about Florida, or it's just like from New York to LA?
In general, because I don't know, there was talk about that for a long time. In fact, we were going to actually, but then people voted against it. Didn't that happen?
No, it wasn't that. The governor said, "Hey, it's a waste of money, so I'm gonna extort this money."
That's what it was. Yeah, no, that's it's such a fucking mess.
And I still remember his goddamn name.
Yeah.
Governor Rick Scott.
Yeah, and now he's Senator Rick Scott, Senate Skeletor. That man should be in prison. I'm saying it now live that I understand people that voted for him because of their Republican values.
But he also ruined a lot of teaching jobs in Florida.
Yeah, and he's also extorted so much. There's. I don't want to get too into it because I don't like involving politics. But this is a big deal for people living in Florida. That this is someone that's been in office in several positions for a long time now.
God, he's been there since I was in middle school.
Right. Yeah. So it's been near 8 years now.
Oh God.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
It's been 8 years.
Yeah. So he's been around for a while. And
anyways,
this is someone that's cheated the system to the point where you really need to consider, relatively speaking, like in comparison to other people who have essentially done the same thing but have not been in his position. How is justice really being served? That's all I'm saying.
No.
Yeah, but like on the whole thing with how we're excelling. I was gonna say something earlier about cars too. That like with augmented reality, I feel like that's probably something that could. I don't know. Like that's a weird. That's a thing that like I can definitely see being implemented into gaming, like how Niantic is trying to do it for events. You hear about that, right? With how like Niantic, the company that made Pokemon Go with the Nintendo company, as well as they have
Mario Run.
Huh?
Mario Run.
I haven't heard of that. What?
Basically the mobile game for Mario.
No, okay, I didn't know they made that, but they also.
No, never mind.
It's like I don't think they made that. Their other games are. Their first game was Ingress.
I was also part of that.
Were you?
Yeah.
I never got into it.
But I had such a crappy phone that it wasn't even worth playing.
Oh, dude, the servers on that are ridiculous. I mean, it's much better. It's much better now. It was the same problem with Pokemon Go. You just dealt with it because Pokemon Go had Pokemon in it. But the servers, when it was first released, they were trash.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to how the game is now. It's not even close.
You know how many?
The game is totally different now. It's great.
How many rat-a-tats I've caught around my house?
2.
40.
Oh.
Day 1.
Okay.
Because that's the only thing that spawned into my area at the time.
But there wasn't 40 of them spawning anywhere.
No, as in like, oh.
Maybe after playing for a month, yeah, you did catch that many. But what I'm saying is that the servers were extremely slow. They would constantly crash, and even when they were running, there was barely anything ever spawning. You had to really go out and look for shit.
Yeah.
And when you did, you mostly found, the same Gen 1 Pokemon that you would find in the first few routes of the original game. So like Pidgey, Rattata,
that was at the time where
Caterpies.
I still had an Amazon phone.
Oh my, I remember that. Oh man, those were the days.
I only had the one model and they never made one again.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, no, they're not going back to that. Are you kidding me?
I loved it.
Yeah, no.
Issue was it ran on a special version of Android.
Yeah.
That never got fucking updated.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Amazon definitely could have stayed in tech if they updated. Well, I guess there couldn't have been enough people buying it. That's probably why they pulled out of it, right?
I mean, yeah, it's like, hey.
I mean, that's big competition. They have to compete. They have to compete with Apple and Samsung and LG.
The phone, it was $400.
That was pretty expensive for a phone back then. That was what? This was like 2014.
Probably.
Yeah.
But it was unlocked. If you wanted one, you can get it with AT&T for like $30 a month.
Okay. That's not so bad. I mean, now the average price for a plan is like $40 a month starting. And that's like, that's around how much I pay. I don't even have a new phone. I have an iPhone 7. No, I mean, I need
iPhone 6.
I need to get a new phone just for my videos.
I'm still upset with my family with our plan.
Really?
I'm paying $120.
Oh my! How? For what?
We have all unlimited text talk.
Oh, that's why.
And then
I don't
for some
do that.
reason they paid for 2 hotspots.
What?
Like,
none.
2 of their phones can have hotspots.
Yeah, our phones can have hotspots. We never use them though. I think we only have unlimited call and text. We don't have unlimited data.
You wanna know how much you pay for internet and TV? $126.
Wait, what service do you have?
Frontier.
Oh no, we switched to Spectrum like last year.
I fucking despise Spectrum.
Why?
They basically.
I mean, it doesn't matter. We don't even use cable anymore. I have a Roku.
I won't be honest.
And we also have Fire TVs in this
They still
house.
have the same service as Bright House.
Really?
Yeah.
I never had any issues with the cable when I used it.
They always had it. I always had issues with them.
To be fair, however, I would also never watch sports in my house. That's the big thing of sports is that it's a whole different issue to run and pay for that.
We watch sports at my house.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
But no, we don't watch American sports. That's the issue.
Oh, that's a whole different beast than if you're trying to watch soccer or like international baseball or something.
No, my stepfather, now since I own basically the plan.
Yeah.
I have to get basically European soccer. Because he watched Real Madrid.
Oh, damn it!
Every time I mention that, everyone says the same shit.
well, because you're friends with Barcelona fans.
I don't watch soccer. I'm sorry, I don't watch football. I don't watch football.
All of your friends are Barcelona fans that watch soccer. Me, Richard, actually, I think Richard is more a Manchester City fan. I don't know. We haven't really.
Richard's a Manchester guy.
We haven't talked much about soccer lately. Same thing with I don't remember if you ever met Nick, a real short, skinny guy. You see it at Maloney's all the time. He has a gear shift tattoo on his wrist. It looks pretty cool, but yeah, he drives it's the guy that drives that straight piped
No, stop it.
Mitsubishi the Eclipse. He drives an Eclipse GT that he modded. Stick shift.
Import.
Cheap import.
Well, Mitsubishi's not that cheap.
Mitsubishi's not bad.
It's quality.
Yeah. I would take his car over, a Civic any day.
I was telling Austin, our other friend.
Mm-hmm. And we need to get him and Richard on the show. That they should be here soon, probably next week, because exams are finally getting over with.
The other day we took a drive in my car.
Mm-hmm.
He loved it.
Yeah.
He actually loved because he could actually hear the engine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can, because the other day, a couple of years ago, I found out my car has a second version. There's a second version of my vehicle.
Yeah.
That has a completely different engine.
Yeah.
It's I have a 4-cylinder. The other one's a 6-cylinder.
Really?
And then if I'm looking at my engine bay.
A 6-cylinder Galant?
Yes.
Interesting.
They exist.
Huh.
I was looking at my engine bay. I have enough room for that engine. I was thinking, how much would it cost me? It's probably It's a $5,000 engine.
Hmm.
Fully rebuilt, refurbished.
I see. Damn.
Issue is I'll have to go pick it up, learn how to fucking mount an engine.
Yeah,
sideways.
that would be something else, dude. Yeah.
It's a sideways mount.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
If you look at my engine, it's mounted sideways.
I never noticed.
Yeah.
Also, I probably looked at your engine like twice. Yeah, ever.
No. Yeah, it's mounted sideways.
Yeah, in fact, you know what? I think the last time I looked at your engine was way back when you had to change the alternator.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a while back, dude.
Yeah.
I remember that was a whole mess.
Keeping a car alive is fucking insane.
Oh, yeah, of course. It becomes your child.
Oh, don't worry. I fucking destroyed the transmission on that.
Oh, God.
No, that day I just basically destroyed it.
Yeah, it runs now, right?
Yeah, for now.
But, yeah, I didn't know they had a V6 for a Galant. That's interesting. But that's
it's very interesting.
But yeah, that's what I missed, and sometimes what I miss and what I really liked about my Lancer is that you can actually hear it. And that and I had a sport mode where you could actually push the gear on it. But yeah,
I actually found out the other day, new vehicles, the actual cabin is so padded you won't actually hear the engine.
Yeah, that's the thing is that.
The actual engine noise you hear is actually coming out of your speakers.
Yep, like the new Camaros. Yeah, it's all fake.
Yeah, it's all fake. There's literally a wire in the engine you can cut. You don't hear it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cars becoming a lot more quiet. Even sports cars and muscle cars. And I don't know. I find it interesting because it's not just because of emissions. It's not like these cars are getting any less powerful. They're only getting more powerful. And they're becoming more efficient too.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win situation. But why can't we hear it? I don't understand. I'm sure it has a lot to do with interior design for the cars. But like,
it's
I don't get it.
You want to be quiet. You also want to think about children.
Yeah.
You're trying to be quiet.
I guess. But you can't defend that for a Corvette though.
Fuck no.
No one's putting that's a two-seater. No one's putting a child. No one's putting a fucking 7-year-old Jimmy riding shotgun in your Corvette ZR1 going 180 down the highway. It's not happening.
Don't fucking tempt me.
I beg your pardon?
I will strap a fucking stroller onto the fucking roof.
That is terrifying. That should be you go to prison for that, sir.
Not yet.
That's crazy. But yeah, no. In all seriousness, no one's doing that. I guess I can understand for people that buy muscle cars because those are you can fit a family in a Challenger if you try. If you have
a small family.
If you have 2-3 small kids, you can fit them in your Challenger in the back.
Fuck no.
It's not as realistic as having like an SUV or a Jeep or something or a truck. But no one really cares about, I guess truck people really like the sound of their trucks sometimes, but those are the same people that are also coaling, and I personally don't care about that. I think it's barbaric and disgusting.
You know what it does to the vehicle?
Coaling? It destroys it.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That's also like shortening the life on, that's the other thing.
You actually destroy the actual metal.
Yeah, it's disgusting. You're ruining the driving experience of other people behind you.
I believe it reduces the engine life down to half.
Yeah.
Most vehicles 5. If you really take care of it.
Because the car shouldn't be burning that much fuel that fast. It already guggles it so much because it's huge and it's pushing a 4,000-pound vehicle, and that's a light one.
I believe there's some regulations in Florida. I know, especially California.
Yeah.
That permits that. It's not a lot. It's basically an illegal mod.
It is illegal in several places.
Yeah.
Not in Florida. I don't think so anyway. It should be.
It should be because we're also an environmental state.
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't know if it's illegal because there are several things that people constantly get away with doing as far as mods on trucks and Jeeps in Florida that cops just forget about it and they never pull them over for. People that, will lift it. There's lifting regulations on how high and how wide you can lift a truck or a Jeep.
Yes.
People get away with it all the time. All the time. They should be getting pulled over, getting tickets. They should be getting fined for that type of shit. Because this is the most dangerous state to drive.
Yeah.
This is the most dangerous places in the world to drive. And yet people take advantage of it all the time.
Yeah.
It's not making it any better.
No.
And then people complain when they have to deal with the law.
but why? But why you gotta enforce it? It's my job.
Yeah. Because you're trying to keep people safe. That's the most important thing. Everyone drives. Everyone. The only people taking the bus in Florida are people taking it to work or to school.
Or they have DUIs.
That too. But buses don't go far in Florida.
Fuck no.
I mean, you consider how far people are driving to work. Like people that drive from here downtown, they have a 30-minute commute on a good day. And that's thousands of people that are doing that every day. Going to work, going to school, going to events. There's always something happening in Florida too. There's always something happening in Tampa, Orlando, Miami. There's always something happening.
I know my job in our catalogs, we actually used to sell in a performance section, the two-step system for the engine.
Really?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
So,
two-step. Basically, it causes. You know how your car injects fuel directly into the pistons and then compresses?
Oh yeah.
Well, this one it sprays once and then it sprays immediately a second time.
Yeah.
Causing a second explosion.
Yeah, we talked about this before.
Well, not for the audience, it causes the actual engine to spit fire out the exhaust.
Mm-hmm.
Giving it that loud popping noise.
Yeah. Throwback to early Fast and Furious movies.
1, illegal. 2, fucking illegal. 3, illegal?
Yeah.
And 4, you can ruin the engine.
Yeah, that's basically the equivalent. In fact, I feel like coaling's even worse though. But
no, coaling is even worse.
Yeah, but it's essentially the same mechanism you're doing. Only you're putting on basically like a semi exhaust on an F-150.
You're actually what's the word? You're encouraging to burn more.
It's disgusting.
It's using the same amount of fuel. It's just it burns it at a weirder rate.
I wonder what it's like though for people that do that. And so, okay, they get their truck, right? They have it for a little while. They drive it before they add these modifications, and they do so, and they realize, why am I at the gas pump 3 more times a week?
It's a piece of shit truck.
Well, because you turned it into a piece of shit truck.
That's what they're gonna think. It's like, no, it's a piece of shit truck.
And then they switch to a different company, and the same thing happens, and they wash, rinse, repeat.
Yeah. Why do you think they hate F1? Everyone hates F-150s.
Oh, there's several reasons for people hating F-150s.
I know, but still.
But yeah, for like the truck community,
it's the most customizable vehicle. For a regular person, you don't understand that. Like from an outside point, that's what I'm trying to say. From an outside point, that vehicle is just a vehicle.
Yeah.
But it's a Ford vehicle, meaning anything can go into it.
That's true. Doesn't mean it'll last long though.
Fuck no.
That's the thing is that like people appeal to different companies because they have different values for their vehicle. With Ford there's a lot of capabilities to it. That's what people really value with Fords. That because it's like a household name and people respect that. There's 4 families.
Like my family.
Whereas people just prefer GM longevity in performance.
I'm still not a big fan of GMs.
And that's where we split, my friend.
But we're still a fan of Dodge.
Yeah, I like where Dodge is going for the most part anyway. I love Challengers. I like Ram. Well, Ram is his own thing now, but yeah, I love SRT. Again, its own company. But I love the Challenger. I love the Viper. That's what's funny is that Dodge in itself is a pretty good company. Well, I don't know. I like Dodge Performance. I don't really care so much about like the Durango or the Charger is nothing like what it used to be, and unless you buy an SRT, which again isn't Dodge anymore, so that's a different beast.
Chargers are affiliated with police now.
Yeah, that's the other thing is that if you're driving a Charger
well, I just noticed it's the state of Florida. That's what they're more common with.
Yeah, it is more common in Florida than it is anywhere else.
I get it, but again, I don't know why.
It's acceleration on highways.
That and plus
it's fast response.
Where are we? We're Florida, meaning crazy drivers. But most of the crazy drivers are fucking modders.
Yeah. That's the other thing is that like it's not a Challenger, so it's not going to be overwhelming. But yeah, it's all about control. When it comes to when it comes to actual enforcement,
it's a different weight distribution.
Oh, completely.
I believe it's a lighter vehicle than a Challenger.
Extremely. Are you kidding me? The Challenger is a block. It's heavy. It's supposed to be though. I think it's the most authentic American muscle car there is right now.
Slaps the roof on a piece of iron. This boy can do 600 horsepower down the highway.
Depends on which one you're talking about.
Exactly.
Because let's see, there's the standard that only has about like 450, something like that.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, and then there's the one that Joey has, the Shaker, that's about 505.
Right, and then the actual RT, and then SRT.
Yeah, and then
we go into the Hellcat.
The Hellcat and the Demon.
Yes.
That are pushing upwards of 700 to 800 to 900 horsepower with 95 octane gas. But
and we're talking about no modifications.
Yep.
That's the one thing that threw me off. Saying, hey, I'm
beasts.
Sorry. No modifications were around 800 horsepower.
And then when you consider modifications like the Hennessy Demon, that thing is hyper. It's over 1,000, well over 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, and then there's
the only problem with the Challenger design, for people that want to do on the track. If you want to do on the track, don't get a Dodge.
No,
those things are built for the drag strip. Those things are built for the street.
Here's the thing that when you think about it, muscle cars. When you think about a muscle car, you think about a drag strip against another muscle car.
Yeah. Or on the street, but that has its regulations.
You're doing basically down to quarter mile on the regular road as well.
I mean, and unless you're dealing with the GM vehicle, in which case you can do both. But
I mean, and then like you said, if you want to use a different vehicle for the track, yes, use the Chevys.
Yeah. That I don't know. That's the thing that really gets to me about GM is I just like their track performance. That and their history. The Camaro was literally designed to compete against Mustangs, and it's been doing well ever since.
Yeah, but still quarter mile behind us.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna put on the drag strip, it doesn't shine there now, does it? It shines on the track and on the street.
Yeah.
Not so much on the quarter mile, but on the on that tight turn that you're gonna go into the grass and anything else.
I wasn't turning. I'm going through that wall.
Excuse me?
It's a straight mile.
Disgusting.
I was gonna bring it up for the Cruise 2 I'm playing at the moment.
Oh yeah.
They just updated the game again.
Oh, did they?
Every month they put out a big update. I have a season pass, so I'll get free vehicles every month.
Nice. This
month for May, I got a 2009 Corvette ZR1.
Ooh.
2009 edition, not the. I was thinking 2019.
Oh no, that thing's a whole different beast. But that's the C6 ZR1 rather than the C7.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an LS7 engine.
Actually, no. There is a ZR1 and then a CR1.
CR1.
Or there's another version of the Corvette in the game.
Okay, probably the Z06.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
Z06.
Yeah.
Just as soon as I got the car, I added a air filter and that's it. Because you can modify the vehicle.
Yeah.
Down the strip, I was doing 208.
Yeah, dude.
Immediately, I'm like, I forgot this vehicle. Back in 2009, it was still kicking ass.
You're like, I forgot this thing's American. Wait, this is an American sports car?
I open up the console. It's just fucking an ice cooler with beer in it.
That's terrifying.
It's
but
American.
That's the coolest thing too. When like people, I guess that's the big thing. Why people don't really like GM so much is that they feel more like European cars sometimes. They're comparable to European cars,
right?
European sports cars. People that have driven Bugattis and Ferraris, they'll hop in a Corvette and put it on the track and be like, have I been missing something as far as what's competing in performance? Because it's in the game.
Yeah.
And then there's Hennessy.
Oh, before we go too far, in the game there's also, I believe, the 2017 Dodge Challenger SRT.
Yeah.
By complete fucking accident.
Okay.
I recreated the demon.
How? How'd you take an SRT and turn it into a demon? You like put a different supercharger on that thing?
I put it under the drag class.
Mm-hmm. Drag mode.
No, it's a drag class.
Well, I'm saying that because these things have a drag mode. It's beautiful.
Down the strip, 12 seconds. I'm running at 305 miles per hour.
And a 12-second quarter mile? Damn.
Still too slow. According to the game, it's still too fucking slow.
Oh, God. That's a game, though. It's a fucking video game, you know?
No, but here's the thing.
There's different standards.
I know, but still, the game... Here's the thing. I think it's going to be my game of the year.
The Crew, too?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's been a while since I actually enjoyed a racing game. I fucking despise the game still.
Oh, yeah?
I hate it because it's so fucking... Here's the thing. The skill spike is fucking huge. Like, the difficulty spike is huge.
Like with people playing online?
No, because basically it's on free roam, it's multiplayer, but when you're doing actual races, it's single player.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're saying the AI is just ridiculous in that game?
Yes, and plus, in the game there's also Indy cars.
That's really funny because it's always been the opposite in any other game, especially racing games.
Yes, but you also have the option to make it multiplayer.
Right.
I choose not to because I despise other people.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I stopped playing multiplayer games. Unless I'm playing with friends.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't really play online unless I'm playing with friends.
But
I like my privacy and my values and being able to actually enjoy my game without some 11-year-old
kid yelling at you saying he screwed your mom.
Yeah. I like to enjoy my games without the toxicity of other people.
There's a limit that I can tolerate.
I understand people that enjoy it, but I don't. For me, I don't really care for it.
I have friends who ask me, "Hey, I see you own Counter-Strike Global Offensive. How come you don't play that often?" I'm like, play competitive for an hour. Talk to me later.
Yeah, it's.
Or hey, I see you own Rainbow Six Siege. How come you're still low level? Play the game for a while. Talk to me later.
Yeah, I just don't really care for investing that much time into it. I'm not that into the game where I'm gonna spend out thousands of hours, honing that specific skill to play with other people that I don't know.
I mean, I still like Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, that's a great game. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a wonderful game. It's not a game for me.
Yeah.
Because it's basically a multiplayer only.
Oh yeah.
Even though you can play lone wolf for a terrorist hunt.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no single player.
Yeah, there's not really much to it.
If I want to play single player, I'll go play the Division.
Right.
But like I was saying, the Crew 2 is gonna be my game of the year.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of customization you can put on the vehicle.
Yeah, dude, you're talking about this game all the time now. You've been playing quite a bit, huh?
It's
when you have your time. When you have the time, anyway.
Yeah. I played it this morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was telling you. The one thing I'm having issue in the game right now is just the Indy cars.
Oh really?
The difficulty spike is huge on that.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, I had to modify the vehicle extremely to where if you look at the Indy car, you're gonna say it's fucking heresy.
Okay.
I put camber on the fucking Indy cars.
Why?
And I lowered the actual traction on the tires.
Okay. What are you trying to do?
The vehicle has too much grip.
Does it really? On the Indy car?
Yes and no. There's too much grip.
I mean, it's...
Well, here's the thing. There's too much grip, but hitting the corners, there's not enough grip.
I see.
So I have to... I'm still playing around with the amount of braking on what side.
Yeah.
The grips on what side of the vehicle.
I see. Well, you are putting... Because the Crew... That's like street style racing, right? Just like Need for Speed. I haven't played it.
It's street... Here's the thing. It combines a lot of games.
Oh, really?
Need for Speed for street racing. You got drift. You got supercars. You got drag vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got off-roading.
Oh, really?
We got...
So almost like Forza.
Yeah. That's the way I described it. It's basically Ubisoft's version of Forza.
Mm.
Except this one has off-roading activities. You have airboats.
Yeah.
You have airboat racing. You have actual boat racing. And then you have plane racing. It's been a while since I've seen someone actually map out the Key West for any racing game.
Yeah.
The Crew 1 did have it, but the Crew 2, since you have boats, you're actually running around Key West. And it's beautiful in the game. The game is very beautiful.
Awesome. That's one thing I really appreciate because I feel like, well, it's weird because we're at a time right now where the standards are being pushed for how good games look, but there's less time being put into some games to where, yeah, they look better than, games that were put out before, but they're not as good. They're not as good as they can be because there's flaws everywhere that have existed in games for years that you can tell, like, oh, this game was made in 8 months, where in comparison to games that have had several years into the making,
For this
as far as design anyway,
right,
and graphics.
Again, for this game, The Crew, the first one, it was a complete shit show.
Yeah.
When it first launched.
Really?
Down the year later, I got the game for free. Then I bought the actual DLCs myself.
Nice.
The game did get better.
Yeah.
Although I didn't agree with the story element.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing how everyone's technically the same character.
Oh, that's.
Long story. The Crew 2, yeah, from day one I was playing until today.
Yeah.
The game has gone several updates. Of course, optimizing. Because yes, the game is beautiful, but of course there's also like balancing issues they're always working on. That's what makes me happy with this game, is because I'm seeing there's an actual development team that's listening actively.
Nice.
That's what Ubisoft has been earning recently.
Nice.
They've been earning our basically voices again.
Yeah.
Because the Rainbow Six Siege, compared to day one, it's a completely different game now. We've gone about almost 4 seasons now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been going for a hot minute. It's going for a little bit.
It's still going strong.
Oh, for sure.
We're like in the millions of players.
Oh yeah, dude, it's a massive following now. It's really been quite the success.
And then everyone. And here's the thing: every couple of months they'll make the game free to play.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's like, hey, you want to play?
Yeah.
There's actually a starter pack for the game. You can pay for $15 and you can start the game like that.
Yeah, man, I haven't realized, like, Ubisoft recently, they've come a long way with the games they're putting out right now, because there was a dark time, let's be real, there was a dark time for Ubisoft when they were putting out a new Assassin's Creed game every year that was trash after Assassin's Creed 3. You know what I'm talking about.
Stop reminding me.
That and Far Cry was getting a little bit tired after Far Cry 3. And
I still haven't played 4, 5, or New Dawn.
It was getting tired. The franchise was getting tired.
Oh God, yes.
Assassin's Creed was getting tired. It was getting pushed every year. A new game every single year.
Here's the thing. I was there for launch night for Assassin's Creed 3.
Assassin's Creed 3 was a good game. I didn't have the best. Why?
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of things about the story I wasn't too keen on.
That was.
But here's the thing about spoilers.
Well, no one cares about spoiling Assassin's Creed 3. That happened years ago.
I got the game. I couldn't play it that night because I had to install all the things.
Yeah.
Next day at school was like, hey, you got Assassin's Creed 3? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, here's what happens at the end. I'm sorry. I have the game still wrapped at home.
Yeah.
I just got the game spoiled the next day.
Oh, that's terrible.
I almost committed a murder on the schoolyard. I was so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And then it's just the ending. The ending of the game just didn't hold up to what this franchise was at the time.
Yeah, that's the main thing that pissed people off when at the time was the ending. The only other thing was, like, for one, the voice acting for some of the characters was really dry, and
I mean,
the thing is that game was slightly rushed. There was some issues with the graphics. The ending sucked, and some of the voice acting was really poor. The best thing about it was the gameplay, and a good amount of the story I really liked. But yeah, that ending was pretty poor. Yeah, for sure.
It was upsetting.
Yeah.
Coming off, because here's the thing: I played Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah. Oh, the franchise was in a golden age.
It was coming off of the Ezio age.
Yeah. So yeah.
I've never played Revelations. That's the one game I refuse to play.
It's pretty good, actually.
Here's the thing with for some reason I just refuse to play the Ezio trilogy. I only played the Assassin's Creed 2, and that's it.
What?
I played a little bit of Brotherhood, but nothing else.
Dude, Brotherhood's my favorite one. I think it's still one of the best. It's still one of the best, arguably the best.
I still love playing Assassin's Creed 2.
Mm-hmm.
But except I played
Brotherhood is just Assassin's Creed 2, but with more features, and it's better. Ezio was better in that game, actually, in Brotherhood.
Well, here's the thing. What made it better for me in Assassin's Creed 2 was just the black outfit.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you know him like wearing the white outfit with the red. No, it's black and red.
Yeah, you were able to change outfits in that game, as well as you were able to change outfits in Brotherhood too, and you were able to upgrade your armor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they removed that feature. You were able to change costumes in Assassin's Creed 3. There was an armor upgrade yet. You had a default armor, and you were able to level up your health, if I remember correctly. But everything else was just upgrading your battle tactics. The thing is that the combat was best in Assassin's Creed 3. That's what really sold it for me, is that the combat was really good. The animations, how they improved the mechanics. I think it was just really smooth and fluid, and it was just aggressive, and it was just, it's awesome.
Yeah, I did like playing the hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, that was really what sold it for me. That and the naval combat was pretty cool, which they improved on in Black Flag. Black Flag, actually...
I hated the naval combat.
Really?
No, well, in Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh. It's definitely a lot better in Black Flag.
Because here's the thing. You know how, like, hey, you're supposed to upgrade the ship. The mission that it forced me to play, I was running at the basic ship. At the time, basically, I was stuck in a loop of being screwed over because I had the lowest health you can get.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem, John.
Yeah. Well, fuck you. Anyways, guys, no, I'm joking.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely enjoyed the game, but yeah, like after Black Flag, things started getting kind of stale because again there was new, like I think Unity was the one that like was really promising and looked really cool, but then it
went downhill.
Yeah,
it was so broken.
At quite a few issues, but yeah, like there was like this whole point in time where like there was just new games coming out every year that were underwhelming. Yeah, they were overpromised and underdelivered. And so yeah, but since then, Ubisoft has developed a bunch of other great games that are getting much bigger followings, and it's good to see that they're progressing as a company and their development.
For a while, there's a term in the gaming industry called the Peter Molyneux effect.
Yeah.
Where basically, the game Spore.
Yeah.
He's the guy who's like, hey, you can do anything. You can create life. You can create civilizations.
Oh, God.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
You play the game, fucking nothing like what he said.
Yeah.
He's known for over-promising, way under-delivered.
Have you ever met my good friend Todd Howard?
He took the limelight now.
Todd, what are you doing here?
Here's the thing. You don't understand how bad 76 was.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bad that it caused a lot of reviewers to take a look back at the other games.
Yeah.
And all the scores got changed.
Yeah, for Skyrim. And Skyrim, I think, is still a great game, but yeah, like, as far as what was expected...
It's a fucking lie.
Same thing with,
Did you hear...
Same with Fallout 4.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. What was the one promise that Todd gave us for Fallout 3?
Fallout 3?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're asking a lot. That's back in, 2009?
I'm gonna tell you right now.
10 years ago.
Just the one small promise. Over 200 endings.
Oh, there's 2.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, no, there's 2. I mean, I guess you can argue there's different endings because of the different side quests, but it doesn't. None of the side quests affect the main story endings. So you can finish the game in a bunch of different ways, but as far as main endings, yeah, no, there's only 2.
Yeah.
This isn't Resident Evil 4. Like, no, they just this is an RPG.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah, it is.
It's ruined.
I mean, it can't compare New Vegas. It can compare New Vegas even on its release.
No.
But yeah.
I still remember.
What are you to do?
I still remember the one news article I read after New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
For 76.
Yeah.
All nuke silos are permanently shut.
Oh God.
Because there's an error. You know the Y2K bug? You ever heard that?
Yeah.
Basically, that happened in game that they didn't account for.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, all vaults are sealed for like 9,999 hours. That's a year or so.
Yeah.
No. They're never opening. Until they updated the thing.
Yeah, that was a whole mess, man.
And then the thing is, the codes to launch nuke never updated.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same nuke code.
Wait, right now? Probably?
It
oh, okay.
It still probably is.
That's nuts.
Who knows? I don't listen
So yeah, I haven't been checking anything with that game. It's just.
I was watching it in awe, saying, I can't believe I'm surprised, but I'm not. I'm really not supposed to be surprised, but yeah, I was.
Yeah, it's happening all the time now with just that issue of overpromise and underdelivered with games, with movies.
I set the bar so low, and yet somehow you fucking made me more sad. Speaking about movies that are being disappointed, Sonic.
Oh, do we really? I didn't plan on talking about that, but
Alright, we can skip that.
What do you want to talk about with Sonic? About the design?
Well, the design is being fixed.
I think the movie is still gonna be a mess.
I mean,
really,
yes, it's gonna be a mess, but at least it's not gonna be an ugly mess.
I hit my stand.
It's not gonna be as such of a garbage fire. It's still gonna be a fire.
It's still, you don't think it's gonna be dumpster fire?
No, it's a minimal. It's a minimal California fire.
I'm sure I'll still watch it. I don't know if I'll pay to watch it personally. I'll watch Detective Pikachu. You know.
You didn't hear what I said.
What did you say?
It's not a dumpster fire. It's gonna be a small California fire.
Oh.
I mean, I can't. All right, I'm glad they're fixing the design.
Sure.
I really need to.
Also Jim Carrey.
You know what? I feel like he was made for that role.
I think Jim Carrey is going to do a great job. I'm not worried about him at all.
No, it's just I need to see the redesign for Sonic.
Yeah, it's not even just, I don't know. Sonic is a complex character with an interesting following, because Sonic games haven't really been great in a while. Let's be real.
The last one was
the last Sonic game, I think, was really with Sonic Generations.
Yes,
and that's because it threw back to the original Sonic games.
Yeah.
And because it didn't have like a super convoluted story about gods or whatever happened back in 2006.
How about the Infinity Stones don't matter anymore? Oh, I'm sorry, KS Emeralds.
No, but like before that, I think the really best Sonic game was like back in the day in the Sega Genesis, Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Oh no, fuck that.
Like the original 3-4 games of Sonic were really the only good ones. But also, in game design, Sonic is weird because it's a platformer where you're supposed to go really fast, but then
if you don't,
judging by the environment, sometimes it's kind of an unpredictable game gameplay wise. Looking back on it anyway, I definitely enjoyed it as a kid. I played all the original ones. I played the ones on the Dreamcast and the GameCube, the Sonic Adventure games.
Oh yes, that's actually the only ones I played.
Those were the one I definitely enjoyed those ones too. Those were the first 3D Sonic games. I want to say, yeah. Yeah, I know. I think the best one is probably Generations because it does both.
I think I know what game we're gonna have to play.
What's that?
Together.
What?
I'm gonna have to find a copy of it. Sonic. Oh.
No.
6.
No.
Yes.
Why? Why would you do that to me?
Why not?
Why? Why would you do that?
We should. We should.
On my live stream?
What?
I'll do it only because it'll only be 2 days. It'll only be 2 nights. So we won't finish the game.
We'll do it for the meme.
I'm not doing a walkthrough because I do walkthroughs on YouTube. I am not doing a walkthrough of Sonic 06. I will live stream it.
But Todd.
Hey, look! If you want to start your own show, if you want to start your own show that'll be funded by Phantastic Productions, be my guest.
Wait! You said funded?
Yeah.
Where's my check?
Check. I said the show, not you.
I need the money for the show.
We already have all the materials.
We don't have the game. Anyways,
we can look at something. I need to do Patreon merch first. You're asking me at a bad time because I just released a new shirt for the patrons, and that money goes straight to that.
There's one question I keep forgetting to ask every week.
What's up?
What has been on your plate for YouTube this week? Like, what have you been watching normally?
Oh, what have I been watching?
Like normally this week.
There's been a few things. Recently, I just been watching a lot of Matty Hapoya and Peter McKinnon. They collaborate with each other, and there are these two Canadian YouTubers that they basically all their channels are focused on tips for photography and videography. Basically, I've just been learning a lot about photography and videography and how I'm basically what direction I'm going to be pushing my content. And also where I'm going to be spending a lot of my money pretty soon on equipment. But it's been mostly learning stuff. Besides that, I've been watching a lot of Joe Rogan's podcasts.
Nice.
And I still go back and watch Game Grumps every now and then, and John Tron when they post stuff. I also keep up with The main YouTubers I keep up with that whenever they post I'll watch is Casey Neistat, as well as Trainer Tips Nick and Mystic Seven. They're Pokemon Go vloggers, as well as Brandon Harding is a health and fitness. He's a bodybuilding vlogger. He's a bodybuilder, and he vlogs his his journey. So that's what I've been watching lately. How about you? And also, why are you asking me this?
Just for
conversation purposes, even though we already have something going. What the fuck?
I'm sorry. No, it's usually like how I was telling you guys, you and Acosta.
Yeah.
That's like, hey,
we need to get him back. We need to get him back on here pretty soon.
How I'm like, hey, every day I'll be listening to something different.
Yeah.
Or like a different album, different artist.
Yeah. Oh, I've been listening to. I got back into some pop punk bands that are posting. They're making new stuff now, but yeah. The story so far, especially, so good.
This week I've been listening to Alex Steele, this actual British forging guy, smith, basically.
He's a blacksmith?
Yeah.
Okay. And that makes music?
No.
Oh, you're watching videos that.
Watching.
Okay.
I watch him normally.
Oh, I love watching blacksmiths.
He's the most American British guy you can watch.
Okay.
Yes.
What did you say his name was?
Alex Steele.
Oh, Steele, as in like
that's his actual name.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then I've been listening to a channel named Night Mind.
What's that?
Oh, basically he takes a look at different things like mysterious ARG games.
Okay.
Or basically oddities on the internet.
Yeah. Creepypasta stuff.
It's not. It's almost like creepypasta, but it's not.
It's like urban legends and or like internet urban legends and like video game urban legends. Okay. Yeah, I got into that for a little bit at one point.
I just finished rewatching the video, the Wyoming incident.
Yeah.
The Wyoming incident, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because it spiraled out of control towards the end of the game, but then it reemerged again a couple of years later.
Really?
The oldest the game technically started was back in 2006.
Okay.
And then they saw movement again back in 2017.
11 years later?
Well, no. It's been the first time the game started was 2006.
Mm-hmm.
And then throughout, like, up to 2000.
Sorry, which game is this?
It's called the Wyoming Incident.
Oh, the game is called the Wyoming Incident.
The entire thing is called the Wyoming Incident. It's technically not a ARG, but at the same time it was.
Interesting.
Then another one called Knock 10.
Yeah.
Where it's basically a underwater structure that was sending out a distress signal. And then later, a bunch of people were able to break the codes, and they actually got the coordinates of where this signal was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
They did confirm it was underwater.
Mm-hmm.
At the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
Really? What?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It sounds real, but it's technically not. It's fictional. But there's actual real code breaking. It's like, hey, we have to use hexadecimal wheel. We have to use Palmer's equation. Another like ciphering wheel.
Yeah.
The Enigma machine for some reason.
Okay.
It's basically great storytelling. Hidden behind like a lot of like codes.
Yeah.
Or like different like scenarios and stuff like that.
Huh.
Most of some of it's technically real, but it's
technically
it's not at the same time, because a lot of it's written to the point where it's like reality and fiction is like borderline. You don't know if like the story's real or not. Seeing how like well hidden everything is.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me of the story for Cloverfield, the first movie.
Yeah.
They did an ARG event.
Really?
Yeah, back then.
Yeah.
Where a guy basically dug up a ammo box.
Yeah.
That was hidden by the actual directors.
Yeah.
And it had stuff. They had soda, emergency ration, and then a token of the actual monster.
Mm-hmm.
No one knew what it was until the movie later came out saying, "Hey, it's Cloverfield," and we had the Cloverfield monster.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot seeing now. Here's the thing. This guy, his voice, it's not like anyone else's voice. It's like the actual one you can listen to.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, there's a whole craft around, having doing narration and voiceover.
You remember that video I showed you a couple years ago called Too Many Cooks?
Yeah.
There's a company called Wham City Comedy. It's a group.
Wham City?
Yeah.
Okay.
WHAM.
Wham!
Wow.
Whammy!
Shema.
Okay.
Alright, Wham City. God damn it. Wham City.
I just ruined it for you, didn't I?
Dedicated Wham. Alright. Wham City.
Yeah.
Comedy.
Right.
The Adult Swim saw a lot of people were very interested in their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So every once in a while they'll put out a new project. One called Unedited Footage of a Bear. Whereas at the beginning it was, and then later turned into a medical commercial, quote unquote. That had a lot of deeper meaning behind it. Where if you decoded most of it, it turns out there's an entire different archive based on that.
Okay.
And then there's another one called This House Has People in It. Originally, it was a 30-minute video. Originally.
Okay.
That if you take a look closer into it and you break everything down, decoding a lot of it, on the internet, after a while, technically there's 2 hours worth of content out of that 30-minute. There's more videos, there's text, there's actual audio files. It's insane how intricate people can do, how much intricate things you can do without realizing it.
Wow.
This channel, like I said, Dark Night Mind.
Yeah.
He basically puts in his research. He doesn't rush out. So it's very hard. It's rare for me to actually watch his new videos.
Yeah.
Because they come out when they can.
Mm-hmm.
He also done a video explaining the SCPs.
Yeah.
There's 3 videos. They're all 3 different styles. One's like, hey, we broke into the actual archives.
Right.
We're reading their books. The other one's like, hey, this guy is putting out these videos and calling them horror stories. They just edited it a little bit, but it turns out they're actual archive, quote unquote, they're archive retellings. And then the third one's like, hey, the SCP Foundation decided to make it public, so now I'm your quote unquote guide, so I can work off my imprisonment. Like I said, this guy is very what's the word? He's very passionate about storytelling.
Yeah, for sure.
It's insane. Once you start watching it, he's just like, hey, you gotta go to work. I'm like, I just started to watch. Oh, shit, I didn't sleep.
Oh, man, another thing, like, speaking of storytelling, you know who's really great and passionate about storytelling? Ooh. Joey Coco Diaz. Oh. I've been binging
I got you hooked onto him.
Yeah, because I didn't realize. The first thing that made me realize that you know the show This Is Not Happening on Comedy Central.
I don't know.
Oh, dude, you gotta check it out.
I heard of it, but I still haven't watched it.
Basically, yeah, it's a stand-up comedy show, but they have comics on there, and they're only on there for like maybe 10 minutes at a time, telling stories. So it's not like, because some people don't really like stand-up comedy because it takes forever.
Right.
This is just 10-minute bits of people telling stories, and it's a different person every 10 minutes. Joey Diaz has been on there so many times. The guy has so many stories. What alone finding clips of him on his podcast, Joe Rogan's podcast. Guy has tons of hilarious stories. It's amazing, and I've been binge watching so many of them because there's so many of them. The guy he's a man of stories. And it's amazing. It's hilarious.
I own 2 of his albums. They're called Testicle Testaments. Because there's
classic.
Like he says, there's stories that come from the actual heart where he became a man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Those are great stories too about like his mom and like him growing up and all that. His stepdad.
Yeah, no, it's insane, his story.
Oh yeah.
And
it's nuts.
I loved it. I love it.
It's crazy. His story about him growing up in Jersey and shit like that.
Then later he explained how he got imprisoned. My favorite story about him was called "The Price of Doing Business."
Yeah. Where
basically a cop back then in Jersey, crime was a little bit high.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, just a bit.
Where they will actually pay the cops under the table for protection.
It's nuts.
Then one of them was like, "Hey, I'm gonna bust you for not giving my cash. How dare you not pay up front?" He's like, "I don't know who you are. You can get out."
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not doing the service for this story.
Oh yeah.
But later it turns out
just listening to Joey Diaz, man.
No, like, and then
he's another guy. Wait, okay.
His mom.
Oh yeah.
Is, from what I've heard, she's an insanely great person.
Yeah.
She's both insane and awesome.
Yeah. She's a badass bitch. But yeah, like okay, because we're running out of time, I think.
Are we?
Well, let's see.
It's about 1.
Yeah, it's we've been going for an hour and 21 minutes. So yeah, we're coming up on our regular
stopping point.
Yeah, but yeah, wasn't Joey Diaz is another thing. So just before we finish this, because we brought it up last week, I'm gonna keep it going. That we need to bring Matt Mercer on the show, and now that we talked about it, let's bring Joey Diaz on the show someday.
Hey, listen, I actually did make a couple calls.
Did you really?
Yes. Best thing I can do is Vin Diesel.
I'll have Vin Diesel on the show.
I'm joking. Could you imagine? It's like next week we got Vin Diesel.
We need Vin Diesel on the show. We need Joey Diaz on the show. We need Matt Mercer on the show. We need Joe Rogan on the show.
I need DMT on here.
No.
I'm sorry.
And Tommy Chong. Those are our 5 right now on the list. Okay, we need a name for this. Help me out with this, John. Improvise. The off-air hit list.
I beg your no.
The blacklist.
No.
The off-air guest list.
Yes.
Pending guest list.
The soon-to-be guest list.
Soon-to-be guest.
Yes.
The list isn't soon to be. The list is there.
The off-air invite list.
There we go. Off-air invites. Hashtag off-air invites. We're gonna start posting on Instagram and Twitter.
Oh yeah, totally.
You're gonna help me out with this, John, right?
Yeah, if I have a Twitter account.
Oh yeah. Just make a new one.
No, I'm not losing all my followers.
How many followers do you have on Twitter?
Probably 1,000.
Really?
Probably.
What have you been posting on Twitter?
It's been a while.
No, what have you been posting on Twitter?
I don't remember. It's because I left Twitter a while ago, and then I still had the account open, active.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna start, updating everything so I can start using it again, and that's when it got banned.
Well, yeah. So let's we got Matt Mercer, we got Joey Diaz, we got Joe Rogan, Vin Diesel, and Tommy Chong. Get them on the show. Hashtag off-air invites at these
we can probably get
gentlemen.
John Cena.
Who?
John Cena.
Bet. John Cena is local to Florida. Same thing with The Rock and Hulk Hogan at times. Bay Area. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Mercer, Joey Diaz, Joe Rogan, Vin Diesel, Tommy Chong, and John Cena. And Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And Kevin Hart.
And Morgan Freeman.
And Thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back next week, hopefully with guests, regardless as to whether or not we know them personally, or whether or not they be celebrities.
Guys, he's staring at me. He's hurting me. He's gonna hurt me, guys. Anyways, thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Listening.
Thank you for listening. John.
No.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me.
I'm looking at you. Oh, wait. Before we end it really quick.
What?
What is this show brought to you by? Shirts. Phantastic Productions has a new summer line of shirts for our $20 patrons, our 1-up tier patrons, our top tier patrons get complimentary merch every season. And the summer line is finally up.
Moist.
Link will be in the description. Check it out. Again, thank you for listening, and we'll see you all next week.